Okay, Arthur Mitchell was not only way ahead of his time, but when he set out to create the Dance Theater of Harlem, he was quite literally doing something that was just groundbreaking. And so while he was very particular and he was very headstrong and he was strict in what he saw in his vision, in that he didn't let people tell him what to do. He was not fond of change and evolution if it put him outside of what he could control, right? But then I'm thinking, can you imagine starting not just a ballet company, but specifically an African American ballet company after the civil rights era? Can you imagine taking it upon yourself to found and to create, literally from the ground up, this black ballet company that not only has that tier, but also took on the responsibility of sharing and teaching ballet and dance and upholstery and drumming to dancers in the community? Can you imagine Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. being assassinated? Listen to this. Being assassinated, and you say, you know what? I have to go back to the US because I'm starting this company. Not to mention starting a all-black classical ballet company while you are a principal dancer with New York City Ballet. First of all, the amount of opportunities, first of all, the amount of connections and the amount of destiny helpers he put the dancers that he would soon employ into contact with, into, proximity to. So it's like, especially with being the generation that I'm in and dance, and like these days, people just, oh my gosh, they just have something to say about everything. Everything is an issue. Everything needs to become a movement. But I can say I can understand dancers. I'm talking about the founding dancers, kind of feeling like, oh my gosh, like he is mean. Like, I don't want to be treated this way. And why is he? Okay, I get that. I get that. I also understand that the founding dancers, founding ballet dancers, they started working with Arthur Mitchell when they were in high school. These girls were 16, 17, right? And even some of the ones who came on a little later, they looked up to Arthur Mitchell and they had like this, they held him with such high esteem. But still, I can understand, like you're in this craft, you love it, you want the opportunities, you want his approval, boom, boom, boom. So when things are going away, yes, it hurts. I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it. I do, I do. Arthur Mitchell, I mean, he did something with Carol Shook that was just, as far as the dancers go, right? Building up the dancers. But the Dance Theater of Harlem, the genesis, it growing, he literally had to craft these standards. Again, think about when he started Dancing in Harlem, and then think about the standard of ballet, and then think about him being the first black principal dancer with New York City Ballet. Yes, you already have this passion, and then on top of that, you have this fanfare that goes along with who you were as a dancer, and then you have all of this knowledge that you've accumulated, and then you're learning from, okay, yes, I I wasn't there, you know what I mean, but I get it. I get both sides, but I feel Arthur Mitchell. I feel what he had to do. I feel how he had to plow. And, you know, whoever needs to see this, if you see it and you're thinking back and you're like, Arthur Mitchell, despite all of that, okay, and I'm not saying that dancers need to be made to feel bad and, you know, etc. Also realizing what time it was, and also realizing now that we have the freedom to train dancers on how to be mature. This is why I teach dancers this any chance I get, if it comes up naturally, because, babe, it's just so much that goes into that, and becoming an artist and that maturity and just. But Arthur Mitchell needs more respect when we talk about Dance Theater of Harlem being founded, even through hiatus 1, mini hiatus 1, mini hiatus 2, and then the big hiatus. I know this is the dance history lesson you did not ask for, but when I tell you, and we should never, ever not be mentioning the names Gail McKinney Griffith, Lydia Barker Mitchell, Carla Shelton, some other ones here that's going past me, but I've been devouring this, and I just got to this point. Just finished this up before I hopped on here. When I tell you, these things are like, they're doing all the things for me. So yeah, keep putting that respect on Arthur Mitchell's name. Like, don't be acting crazy. And you know, I'm just going to add this to my Arthur Mitchell video. More respect needs to be put on his name. I'm sorry, not sorry. More respect needs to be put on his name. More respect needs to be put on what was actually birthed by Arthur Mitchell. And I say this because, in my experience, the things that I've heard about Arthur Mitchell and the history that I learned secondhand was not even scratching the surface. And what I found out is that the secondhand information I was getting did not even start at the beginning. That is not okay. That is not okay. More respect needs to be put on Arthur Mitchell's name. More respect needs to be put on those founding 5 dancers, okay? More respect. Sheila Rowan, Marcia Sells, Lydia Abarca, Gail McKinney Griffith, Carla Shelton. More respect needs to be put on these names, and this needs to be talked about more, because when you realize that 8-year, some people say 9-year, but okay, I found it was 8-year hiatus. Okay, here's the thing. When you think about the 8-year hiatus, and then you think about when the company came back into full, fruition, that time in between the hiatus and when the company started again, that was a direct line. This company restarting was a direct line to the end of the robustness of Arthur Mitchell, those founding dancers, and then the other dancers who would, come in. But what's so beautiful about those founding 5 ladies is that they kept not only a tie in a way to Dance Theater of Harlem, they all also found a way to pay it forward. And although history would record that 8-year hiatus, and you know, we can pretend that, oh, you know what, Dance Theater of Harlem, like, oh, what, there were black ballerinas, oh my gosh, we're so confused. We can act like that, but the fact of the matter is that it happened. And not only did it happen, this is the thing, it was excellently done. So don't be coming to me talking about some Dance Theater of Harlem history if you about to start at the back. Start at the front and inspire the people, okay? Listen, the way I feel about it, New York City Ballet should be talking about Arthur Mitchell every chance you get. Yes, I said it. I think this was about 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. I was in New York City at Studio 5, and there was this DTH, New York City Ballet thing that was hosted and emceed by Wendy Wellen and Robert Garland, whom I love. The dashing Robert Garland. And I saw a bit of Agon, which I absolutely love Agon, but it was a celebration for, it was Arthur Mitchell's birthday, or it was something to do with George Balanchine, but y'all know how they go together. Like, that was cool, that was cute, perf. I need more fanfare. I need more fanfare about Arthur Mitchell. I need more fanfare about Arthur Mitchell and New York City Ballet. How you gonna do it? I don't know. I love that, you know, the companies collab, cool, cute, but act like Arthur Mitchell was that guy in not Dance Theater of Harlem, in New York City Ballet. As a principal, I mean, he was an eclectic artist. He wasn't basic by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know how y'all gonna do it, but stop playing.